Good morning, US Ignite. Good morning, US Ignite. A bit better, thanks. Good to be here. We stand on the shoulders of giants, and for that we are very much grateful. We also have a lot of folks that we want to thank for the support of the initiative. The good friends from the National Science Foundation, US Ignite, and also the team from the Genie Project. We're here today to also thank the demo gods for looking favorably upon us and everybody else who is doing live demos today. We live at the absolute, not leading edge on this one, Glenn, but on the bleeding edge, and indeed the team right now is struggling to keep 1 gig symmetrical between Chicago and Cleveland alive. And we'll do our very best, and we know we have a very sympathetic crowd. We also, again, in terms of what you're about to at least see mapped out for you, are 2 connected collaboration demonstrations. Both of them are, I think, compelling stories. One is very much focused in on connected healthcare, based on really very real challenges. 1 out of every 3 women in Cleveland has type 2 diabetes. 10% of our national health care costs is associated with diabetes. And 1 hospital visit when a doctor and a patient are not sure about whether or not there is an issue with her or her diabetes results in at least an average of a $1,000 visit to the ER. We want to try to show you kind of how that lines up using an, again, connected collaboration environment, which is, as Brian indicated, open for general release today to everyone as an open source platform using commodity $60 HD cameras and any laptop that you want. So we think it's a very compelling case, but over amazing broadband, which is, of course, our US Ignite contribution. The second is in the area of STEM education. Again, in Cleveland, 8% of the kids in Cleveland actually graduate from college. We should be doing better, and that's the story all across at least our part of the nation. We want to tell you the story of a collaboration between a team at Case Western Reserve University and a wonderful high school that only 5 years ago was a very low-performing high school, together in a collective barn-raising activity using connected collaboration. There's an amazing story to tell. This school, the early college program at John Hay High School in Cleveland, Ohio, is the number one STEM high school in the state of Ohio. So those are the 2 stories we want to briefly tell you about today, if we can. And I've danced as far as I can for right now, Marv, so I'm going to kind of just sort of see what we can do, or... All right, so here's the standard setup then that we want to demonstrate. This actually happened to my mother-in-law over the weekend, 84 years old, diabetic. Here's a version of it actually with Dr. Marsh, who we're hopefully going to be in touch with, and one of her patients that we happened to film last week. This is the classic setup. Let's roll this one.
Hello, Mrs. Smith. What can I help you with?
Well, my blood sugar is really high. I scratched my arm on a fence, and I'm afraid it's infected or something.
How high is your blood sugar?
I think it's 362, or it might be 2 something.
Are you feeling dizzy or nauseated?
Maybe a little.
Does the scratch look red, puffy, or is there any fluid coming from it?
It's red and sore. I washed it and put peroxide on it, and I can't tell if it's wet.
This is hard to sort out over the phone, but the office is closed. I think you should go to urgent care.
I don't have a way to get there, but I'll call 911.
Well, call the office tomorrow and see me or one of my partners as soon as you can.
Thank you.
Okay, that's very real. And that is a $1,000 visit if she goes to either urgent care or, in fact, shows up the next morning or the next day at the general environment of supporting all over the country when it comes to chronic disease management issues. So we're going to try to actually go live now, if we can, to Cleveland and share with you that what we have here is an effort to demonstrate symmetrical gigabit SDN connections both in Cleveland and here to Chicago. We definitely were having some serious lags just 5 minutes ago as I was coming on stage. So I hope you'll get I hope you'll be an appreciative audience, as we like to say. And with that, I'd just like to say, Dr. Marsh, the floor is yours to talk to your patient, and good luck to us all.
Hi, Mrs. Smith. What can I help you with?
Hi, Dr. Marsh. Well, I'm afraid my blood sugar is really high. I scratched my arm on a fence, and I'm just worried that it might be infected or something.
How high is your blood sugar?
362, or it might be 2 something. I can't find my good reading glasses.
Why don't you just turn
Are
down
you
the
feeling
audio
dizzy or sick to
over
your
Cleveland?
stomach?
Thanks. So we'll let the
not
audio
really.
catch
Maybe a
up with
little.
us as what we want to try to share with you today is a couple
a little
of
warm.
demonstrations of the ability to use some of the home health devices. There are 3 of them that Dr. Marsh will be reviewing briefly with her patient, and the ability for Dr. Marsh from her office and her patient from her home.
Yes.
This patient's home is actually in the Judson Manor facility in University Circle in Case Western Reserve. We connected 154 apartments with gigabit connectivity, and this patient hopefully will be able to share with Dr. Marsh some of the 3 devices. There is a glucometer a meter that I know Dr. Marsh uses all the time. There's also a chance to take a look at a skin lesion that the patient was concerned about, and she'll be able to hopefully share that as well, and then an insulin pen. And all of that really happens remotely from home and the doctor from her office. This interaction is probably about 2 minutes of doctor-patient time. The patient doesn't have to worry about getting to the clinic. The patient can actually receive real-time feedback on the key indicators. There's her glucometer reading, which actually
really.
on average is pretty
I'm
good
just so
at
glad
26.
I don't have to go to urgent care.
And hopefully we'll catch up again here.
I'm going to dial my insulin pen to 22. I'm going to wash the scratch thoroughly.
Okay,
and
we're
call
going
the
to keep the audio down because we're that far behind on the lag here. Okay, I think that what we'll try to do here is just ask our team whether or not we want to just kind of move on to our next piece. Okay, so that thanks to Dr. Marsh for taking a couple minutes out of her busy day into her patient today as well. And again, we hope that you will have, well, actually, better yet, to describe what you should have seen and could have seen. Maybe we'll invite Marv to come forward and share just a little bit.
So we call the incredible video conferencing you should have seen connected collaboration. And it was made possible by an NSF US Ignite eager grant. We want to click through
It's
this.
actually right there, Marv, on the
Oh,
side.
it's on the sides. Okay.
And you can see it right there.
Okay. Would you click?
Yeah.
So it delivers this stunning audio and video using only commodity components, webcams, microphones, and computers, and gig networking, which is what wasn't quite available this morning. It is client-to-client with no MCU or conferencing bridge. The doctor's client connects to an open-flow switch at Case Western, as does the patient's. That open-flow switch is connected through a gig layer 2 pipe through Ornet, Internet 2, MREN, and the UIC network to the open-flow switch in this hall. Computers on that switch show us the video seen by the doctor and by the patients. Currently, connected collaboration only works point-to-point. The video streams we saw projected are the same ones seen by the doctor and the patient. In a simple yet powerful example of software-defined networking, in only 50 lines of Python code that you're seeing scroll by, the OpenFlow switch can be programmed to duplicate traffic between ports. You'll hear one more and see one more connected collaboration demonstration, and you'll hear more about the software in just a few minutes. Thanks. Lev?
Thanks, Marv. And again, their second little demonstration that we'll try to show, and again, we'll at least briefly describe it, is the story of John Hay High School. And again, we're going to try to, if we can, go live to Cleveland. We are going to try to be joined by Professor Mike Kenny in his lab at Case Western Reserve University on my right. And over on the left are students from the wonderful, clearly early college program at John Hay High School. And Mike, we're going to pass it on to you as best we can.
An example of a physical property.
Boiling point.
Boiling point, good. I'm sorry?
Malleability.
Malleability. What's malleability?
The amount of time it takes to pound something flat.
Okay, how thin you can make something. What's another one?
Color.
Color, very good. Anything else?
Ductility.
Ductility, okay. Any more?
Density.
Density. All right, good. That's enough for right now. Now, we want to see if there's anything we can do with any of those things. So, ductility, malleability, density, boiling point. Could we use those to identify compounds? Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah? Would I unequivocally know what something is because of its boiling point?
No.
No for certain? No? Probably not. What about density? Well, we're going to try something here. So I've got a little vegetable oil. I'm going to pour it into my container here. This is called a separatory funnel. So I add a little bit of that. And we're going to add some water. And because I want to make sure I can see it, I made the water blue. And we'll pour it in here. And tell me what you see.
2 layers.
Why 2 layers?
Because the
they have
oil and
different
the water.
densities.
All right, I just wanted, as Mike, Professor Kenny and his students continue this experiment, I want to introduce you to Ben Smith, who is actually the brains behind this amazing new, again, open source, point-to-point software solution using the commodity endpoints that are actually going on in Cleveland and here in Chicago to describe the solution set. Ben.
Thank you, Lev. And I thank you all for using your imagination in appreciating what you are seeing today. As we know, the dream of recreating a face-to-face situation over network technology is one that many of us are very interested in, and one that I believe is not just a dream, but is going to become reality. It's just a matter of time before that happens. However, making that happen is going to require a huge amount of bandwidth or other ways of getting the data through. As humans, we have very, very acute faculties for perceiving facial changes, body language, that kind of thing. Being able to convey that through a network pipe is hard. The amount of bandwidth to create a situation such as this may be quite immense. So our software, Connected Collaboration, which is struggling onwards here, proposes to do this in a slightly different way. We know there are many solutions out there right now, and the big problem that they face is that the internet is congested. It's not a very big pipe for us. The solution for creating true connected collaboration, getting as close to face-to-face as we can, if there's any magic behind the software you're seeing, it is purely to take an approach of designing with the gigabit in mind. So this software, as you're witnessing, if it gets rate limited, it doesn't know what to do. It's not going to try and survive the way Skype or another solution may. But if the bandwidth is there, this can step up and provide hopefully a much higher fidelity situation. It doesn't have acoustic echo canceling that is a destructive reduction of the dynamics of the audio. The compression of the video has been opened up as wide as possible to get a lossless image through when the bandwidth is there again. And so having that data is really what's going to make this possible. Getting raw video through requires more than a gigabit if we want to do 720p, and 720p is already getting small. We would rather do 2K or 4K or go on to something like that. So we still need technology to help us get it through the gigabit, but once our gigabit is there, a highly fertile field for applications that are going to be transformative, as all the speakers are addressing here, we believe is just around the corner or here already. So, in closing, we would like to thank US Ignite for bringing us here, the NSF for funding this, Case Western Reserve University, and with that, we'll hand it off. Thank you.
At this stage, I wanted to bring back one of the demos we'd done earlier today, Connected Collaboration, which had a little bit of trouble because they had a gigabit application that didn't have a gigabit to operate on. And I think that some of that bandwidth has come back. So if we can go and look in again on that Connected Collaboration demo, can we see what's happening here?
Are we coming up?
Yay!
Yeah. So
Hello.
hi, where are you?
Ya?
Good.
How are you doing?
What's that?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm a little sleepy for, we're in Chicago, so we have a good excuse today to be sleepy.
Oh, of course. You're an hour behind. Hour less sleep.
Yeah. Did you watch the game?
I did watch the game last night. The Blackhawks, that was really an amazing finish by the Blackhawks. With 2 minutes left, it looked like we were going to go to a Game 7. I was all excited to watch the game on Wednesday. And then next thing I know, 2 goals, and they're hoisting the trophy.
So I was about to go to sleep and gave up on it's like, okay, forget it. Fine, they're going to have Game 7. So I was about this close to go to bed. I went to say goodnight to my son when I hear, yeah, they scored. So I'm like, okay, great, now it's overtime. I will never get him to go to bed. But, 20 seconds later, it's like another one. It was like, whoa. It was great. We really enjoyed it.
It was, and the NHL is special, the Stanley Cup is special. There's something about hoisting the trophy over your head, doing a lap around the rink, and the handshake line after the game's over. It's really a special celebration.
I wish it had been in Chicago.
Great, thank you.